Hi, I'm Josh Whiteman from Garage Gurus, and for today's tech tip, we're going to go over vacuum pulse testing using our transducer. So let's take a look at how we're going to get this capture. We're going to show you how to set up the equipment as well as what we're going to have to set up on the Pico 7 software. First things first is we need to get a good vacuum source from this intake manifold. Sometimes that's the toughest part about taking this capture, is just finding a accessible spot. There's a lot of hard plastic fittings and check valves everywhere now, but we have that all prepped for us. So I'm going to jump over to this car now and show you what it looks like to set up the transducer. So first thing we're going to do is power on our pressure transducer. Hold that power button, it cycles through. Range 1 is going to be fine. What we're going to have to adjust is the zoom. So we're actually going to look for the number 3 zoom setting. At that point, all we're going to do is connect our quick connect fitting. All right, so we have everything set up on the vehicle. We are now on the Pico 7. We're going to select our WPS 500X for channel A. And for channel B, we are going to go back to our coil on plug and drop the voltage down a little bit. Again, I'm going to add time on the screen until it looks like something that my eyes can keep up with. And now I'm going to go start the vehicle. All right, so you can see our waveform coming across the screen now. At this point, we're zoomed out a little bit too much. So I'm going to slide this up. At this point, I'm just going to pause this capture. I'm going to go back one waveform. And now we can zoom in to see what these pulses look like. Once again, with a little bit of zoom, we can see the vacuum pull from all 6 cylinders. It's a pretty similar idea to a relative compression test where I really am just looking to make sure all 6 cylinders are pulling a pretty equal vacuum pull. Right now, the sink is on cylinder 2 because it's not tucked underneath the intake manifold. So what we can use on this software to help us kind of figure out which cylinder is which is something called phase rulers. So I'm going to turn on the phase rulers. And I'm going to slide these over to the 2 firing events. And now we have our phase rulers up. We probably want to have 6 partitions since this is a V6. And as we talk about, the intake stroke happens 360 degrees after the firing event. So we can see down here at the bottom, this is our 360 degree mark. So this lighter blue section will be the vacuum pull for cylinder 2. So that's a little bit what it looks like. What I want to do next is I actually want to use some bidirectional controls and phase the timing so that we can see what it looks like if we were to have a timing problem with this car. So I'm going to start the vehicle up once more. And I'm going to take some time out of the screen, change the scaling just a bit. And now I'm jumping over to the autel. And I'm going to select the intake camshaft position actuator for bank 2. Tells me to put it in park, lock the drive wheels. I'm going to hit continue. And we can hear the RPMs jump up. We're going to start increasing it just a little bit. And now when we jump back over to our Pico software. I'm going to hit pause. I'm going to turn the truck off. Turn the truck off so you could hear me. I'm going to use our zoom, and let's take a look at what happened now. We don't have nearly as clean and clear of a vacuum pole now. You can see how phasing that cam timing has affected the vacuum pole. So again, there's nothing wrong with this car. Just nice to be able to show you and give you an example of what a car with a problem might look like. So hopefully you guys are able to see the value in this. It's pretty easy to connect to a vacuum source. Once we're connected to this vacuum source, we can get a really good idea of what's going on with the timing of the vehicle. Again, don't forget to use your common sense, right? If half of the vacuum poles are affected on this waveform, well, it's probably something that's going to affect the entire bank, more than likely a VVT solenoid or a timing chain issue. If it's one individual vacuum pole that is affected, well, maybe we have some sort of valve problem for that individual cylinder now. If you guys are interested in more videos like this and more training on your oscilloscope, check us out at gurusplus.com, where we have a ton of videos on how to use these scopes and functions. I'm Josh Whiteman with Garage Gurus. Thanks for watching.